Right now at noon, a battle on Capitol Hill as the president says he'll fight congressional-led investigations into his administration. And the man who portrayed Chewbacca in the Star Wars films has died. How the Madison Mallards will honor Peter Mayhew.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now at noon on this Friday. We'll get to those stories in just a bit, but first let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. It was nice to see the sun early on today.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. Finally, some sun after days and days of cloud cover. Unfortunately, though, I do think the clouds are going to try to make a little bit of a comeback. This is a live look at Platteville right now. You do see some blue still in the sky, but notice that cloud cover trying to filter in. This is a look from our station camera, which is just a little bit more gray. And then we hop over to the Edgewater. A lot of gray cloud cover, but still some holes, allowing some of that sunshine to filter on through. It'll be short-lived, though. More sunshine is arriving by the time we get you into your Saturday. Temperature-wise, we are at 55 right now. Winds coming out of the east at 6 miles per hour. A lot of us are seeing those temperatures into the 50s and upper 50s at that. Mineral Point at 59 right now. Boscobel at 58. Janesville with us at 55. Things are a little bit colder, though, as you work your way over towards the lake shore. That east wind is blowing in some colder air from the lake. But here is the overall cloud cover. You can actually see the cloud cover that has developed this afternoon because of that lakeshore wind. Higher cloud cover trying to stream in back towards the south and west. That's coming at us from Iowa right now. That is why I do believe this afternoon is going to be mostly cloudy, but will clear out overnight. And that does mean some sunshine for the weekend. But I'm also watching our next rain chances as well, Mark. So I'll be breaking down your weekend forecast, why you should get outside, and when we could see those next chances for rain coming up.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
This just in from the Channel 3000 Alert Center. Emergency crews are responding to a gas leak in Monroe. The Monroe Fire Department says the gas leak is in the 600 block of 18th Street and that several people living near there have been asked to evacuate. The fire department says We Energies hit a gas line. Madison police investigating after a home was damaged in a shooting on the city's east side. They were called to a home along the 5000 block of Milwaukee Street near McGinnis Park late last night. Officers say multiple shots were fired at a residence, causing some damage. No one inside was hurt. Madison police asking anyone with additional information to contact the department or Madison area Crime Stoppers. President Trump says he cooperated fully with Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation, and that's as far as he's willing to go. Natalie Brand has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Trump is pushing back against Democratic-led investigations on Capitol Hill.
It's done. We've been through this. Nobody has ever done what I've done. I've given total transparency.
The president does not want former White House counsel Don McGahn to comply with a subpoena to testify and turn over documents.
I've had him testifying already for 30 hours.
So is the answer no?
And it's really, so I don't think I can let him and then tell everybody else you can't, because especially him, because he was a counsel.
And the president praised Attorney General William Barr for refusing to turn over Special Counsel Robert Mueller's unredacted report despite a congressional subpoena.
As you probably know, on the articles of impeachment for President Nixon, Article 3 was that he ignored the subpoenas of Congress, that he did not honor the subpoenas of Congress. This is very, very serious.
In a tweet last night, the president urged lawmakers from both parties to get back to business for the good of the American people. But the tweet makes clear this cooperation should not extend to investigations into his administration. The president has filed lawsuits to block subpoena requests for his tax returns and Trump business records. He says he assumes Mueller reviewed those returns during the investigation, but Democrats aren't so sure.
The Attorney General of the United States said, well, I don't know if we looked at it. And I said, you don't know? He said, no, I don't know. You'll have to ask Bob Mueller. So I said, okay.
The House Judiciary Committee is asking Special Counsel Mueller to come testify. And Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says Congress's request for the president's tax returns is still under review to see if it complies with the law. He says he'll have an answer for them on Monday. India's biggest storm in decades has made landfall, killing at least 7 people and leaving a massive trail of destruction. Cyclone Fani made landfall near the city of Puri, which sustained gusts of 130 miles an hour. The cyclone delivered a devastating blow to India's northeast region, where the storms in the past have killed thousands. More than 1 million residents were evacuated as Fani approached and rode out the storm in shelters across India. In neighboring Bangladesh, authorities are also getting people out before the cyclone moves in this weekend. Actor Peter Mayhew, most famously known for his portrayal of the giant furry Chewbacca in the Star Wars movies, has died at the age of 74. On Tuesday, Mayhew passed away in his Texas home. 7'3" Mayhew was a former resident of Yorkshire, England. Mayhew was working as a hospital attendant in the 1970s when a producer saw a photo of him standing above the crowd around him and cast him in his first film. About a year later, Mayhew was called by filmmaker George Lucas to audition for the role of Chewbacca. Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker, said Mayhew and the lovable character he played shared similar qualities.
He just radiated happiness and warmth. He was always up for a laugh.
Mayhew's family confirmed his death but did not provide details nor a cause. And the Madison Mallards will be honoring Mayhew's legacy this season with their specialty Chewbacca jerseys. The jerseys will be worn on June 27th for Star Wars night. Each player's jersey will then be auctioned off after the game with proceeds to benefit domestic abuse intervention services. Tickets for that June 27th game are available now at mallardstickets.com. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Are you looking for something new to serve with your margarita on Cinco de Mayo? We've got it, and I promise that it'll deliver a fiesta of flavors. Cinco de Mayo is only a couple days away, and while I love tacos as much as the next person, I thought I'd shake things up with something that's new, that's bursting with Tex-Mex flavor. So today, we're making a fun pull-apart bread with a tasty twist. It's easy, and it goes together like this. The next time that you're at the store, pick up a round, crusty sourdough or hearty white bread, like this one. Then, using a serrated knife, make cuts 2 inches deep, roughly an inch apart. Turn the bread and then repeat that one more time so you end up with a crisscross pattern. Now we mix cream cheese with a bit of taco seasoning, a can of chopped green chilies, some cilantro, and a good amount of shredded Mexican cheese blend. We spread this into the slits, making sure that there's plenty of cheesy goodness in every bite. This will get wrapped in foil and into the oven it goes until the bread and filling are piping hot. Come party time, peel back the foil and sprinkle on some grated queso cotija, which is a Mexican-style cheese, and let the festivities begin. As you pull apart the crusty bread, out comes the cheesy filling. To get the recipe for our Fiesta pull-apart bread, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fun and festive way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, mostly cloudy Friday is setting up across southern Wisconsin. Meteorologist Chris Reese will tell us what's in store for the weekend ahead in your first alert forecast. The job market hit its stride once again, and a new list of the best airlines for 2019. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
The U.S. job market fires up once again. According to the Labor Department, employers added 263,000 jobs last month, and the nation's unemployment rate fell to 3.6%, which is the lowest level in nearly 50 years. Uber is facing a lawsuit in Australia as it gears up for its public debut. More than 6,000 drivers and operators signed on to a class action lawsuit down under. The suit alleges that Uber operated illegally in Australia and ignored local regulations. Facebook is reportedly building a cryptocurrency-based payment system. The Wall Street Journal says the social media giant is recruiting financial firms and e-commerce companies to help launch the payments platform. Users would be able to send a digital coin to each other and use that currency to make purchases on Facebook and online. Facebook's plans may also include ways to financially reward users who watch with ads. Wallet Hub is out with this list of best airlines for 2019. Topping the list is Alaska Airlines. Delta Airlines was the most reliable with the lowest rate of cancellations, delays, and mishandled bags. JetBlue ranked as the most comfortable, thanks to its amenities such as free Wi-Fi and complimentary snacks. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 214 on those job reports numbers. The NASDAQ up 107. The S&P 500 up 26. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee as we wrap up another trading week.
Yeah, but thank goodness we're doing it with some sunshine. Man, I talked to Dr. Joe Lauer, University Extension corn specialist, this morning at 6, and he was already heading to the fields up in Arlington where farmers can go, they will go. So on sandier soils, some of those south-facing slopes, those kinds of things, wherever they can go, they're going to try to capitalize on the sunshine and the dry weather, at least on the short term. Dr. Lauer pointing out to me that we are beyond the optimal window when it comes to starting corn planting. A week ago, we only had 4% of the corn planted in the state, most of that southwest Wisconsin, so we're already behind the gun as far as getting that crop in the ground. He said right now it doesn't matter if the soil is cold or anything like that. Get the corn in the ground. He said the hardest part is going to be kind of disciplining ourselves to make sure that the soil is proper as far as the planting conditions are concerned. If you decide you're going to mud it in, you will have problems for the rest of the growing season. So good luck, Dr. Lauer and his research team. They already had one plot in, he told me, on the 5th of April. So that's what research will do for you. Smaller plots, better opportunity to get in. So the markets today still feeling downward pressure. We just don't have any much news to encourage it to go the opposite direction until farmers really commit as to how many acres of corn and soybeans they're going to be growing this year. The market is in flux, getting a lot of feedback from farmers all across the Midwest, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Nebraska, where they're showing pictures of flooded farm fields that had already been planted. Barrel cheese today was up 3 1/4 cents at 166 1/4. 40-pound block cheese on Friday up 2 at 167 1/2. The AA butter finishes the week down 1/4 cent, $2.27 a pound. So it might just be a small window, Mark, a real small window, but we're going to do with it whatever we can. And that may include, I see a lot of people out scratching around on their yards today, too. So, we'll take it while we can get it.
It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, so another day.
There we go.
All right,
there we go.
Have a good weekend.
Yep, you
Thank
too.
You, Ben. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Chris Reese with a look at that weekend forecast.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark. We've seen some sunshine earlier, but now more cloud cover is trying to work its way back into the state. Some of that coming off the lakeshore with the lake breeze that we've had today. So that has prompted cloud cover to develop from about, say, Waukesha over towards the Madison area. Then back towards the south and west, we see more upper level cloud cover coming in from parts of Iowa and Minnesota. Here's just a closer look at the clouds that have come in from the lake and that have really blossomed this afternoon. And then again, you start to see the thicker cloud cover moving in from the south and west. No rainfall over us right now. That thicker cloud cover is associated with the weak little cold front that's moving across parts of Minnesota and Iowa as we speak. It's slow moving, though, so that won't exactly get to us. If anything, our temperatures are going to be warmer. But as we come closer to home, yes, things are still dry, despite the gray look that we do have out there right now. 55 is our temperature. Winds again coming out of the east at 6 miles per hour. We're going to keep that easterly wind around for most of the day. Some of us a little bit warmer, 59 as you work your way over towards Mineral Point. Boscobel at 58 degrees. We jump down to Janesville. They're with us at 55 right now. And then, of course, where those winds are blowing right off the lake, things are a little bit colder. 49 in Milwaukee as we speak. As we zoom things out, we show you temperatures that are across the Midwest right now. One of the things that we've talked about for quite some time is the fact that we've had this stationary front over the Midwest that's kept those warmer temperatures from about the Ohio River and points to the south. We've been a little bit on the colder side of the spectrum, but things are finally getting to change for us. High pressure is pretty strong. It's going to finally push that front towards the south, allowing for a little bit of a drier weekend for us. We have not had a dry weekend in quite some time. Here's how that shapes up for us on Saturday. The model's trying to show a slight rain chance, mainly across north Wisconsin. I do think most of us are going to try to stay dry as we head through the weekend. More rain chances, though, do arrive by Sunday afternoon. So tomorrow, folks, is definitely going to be the pick day of the forecast, because Monday and into Tuesday and into Wednesday and Thursday, more and more of those shower chances are going to be returning. So this weekend is the brief window. Let's go ahead and time things out. Here's that cloud cover this afternoon. Highs will be right around 60. There is a slight chance of a shower this afternoon, but I do think most folks are going to stay dry. Overnight tonight, clearing skies. That allows those temperatures to fall into the low 40s and upper 30s. 60s as we move into Saturday, upper 60s at that. 70s possible moving into Sunday, but notice the sunshine moving into Sunday with those rain chances farther off towards the north. But after the weekend, folks, there's a lot of water that's going to come in a short, well, not necessarily the shortest amount of time, but over the course of a couple of days, we could be seeing anywhere from 2 to maybe 3 or 4 inches of rain across southern Wisconsin. So it's going to be a very, very wet pattern coming up as we go through the next couple of days beyond the weekend. That's going to keep those temperatures likely cooler than average, with highs in the 50s and low 60s. And at this point of the year, we typically begin to see those highs into the upper 60s and low 70s. But we do have a couple days like that in our forecast, particularly as we get into Saturday and Sunday. But then the rest of the forecast does look pretty wet, unfortunately. So we can't change it, of course, as much as we wish we could sometimes, but at least the nice days are on the weekends.
Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Chris, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, history is being made on Jeopardy. We'll tell you how when we come back. Well, who is the Jeopardy super champ? That's what people are calling James Holzhauer, who's been setting records left and right during his 21 wins and counting run as champion on the game show. CNN's Stephanie Elm tells us the story.
What is Man and Superman?
Yes.
What is Super Base?
Yes.
What is Bedford-Stuyvesant?
Correct.
James Holzhauer may be redefining what it means to be a Jeopardy champ.
Answer, daily double.
All of the chips, please.
All of it. All right. Here.
One massive wager at a time.
I look at James and I say, oh my gosh, look at what he's doing.
James.
What is Peter Pan?
A professional sports gambler from Las Vegas, Holzhauer's bets would make most people sick to their stomach. Here he is on ESPN.
I'm comfortable risking a lot if I know I have a big edge, but on Jeopardy, you know, I'm going to get the daily double right a lot more often than I'm not going to, so I just want to maximize that bet.
He also attacks the board differently, going after those big value clues on the bottom.
He's doing it with the specific goal of trying to earn a lot of money before he finds the daily double.
Data scientist Benjamin Soltov has analyzed the stats of Jeopardy winners.
He finds the daily doubles. He has a lot of money already in his control. He's able to bet a large amount on them, and more often than not, you get the clue correct. It's a variation on a technique we've seen champions in the past use. It's called the forced bounds.
I was on Jeopardy for the first time in 1985. I won 5 games, which was the limit back then.
From Grand Blanc, Michigan, Chuck Forrest.
Chuck Forrest originated the strategy.
This idea of bouncing around the board. Instead of going straight down, you go someplace completely at random. And that way, you remain in control of the board.
No doubt Holzhauer's variation on the forest bounce is working for him. During a record 74 consecutive games, Ken Jennings raked in more than $2.5 million, the most ever during the show's regular season play. But at the rate he's going, Holzhauer could out-earn Jennings in a lot less time.
You have just set a one-day record. Again, $131,127.
His average bet or wager on a daily double, I think, is about twice as large, at least, as much as Ken Jennings was doing. He was there for a very long number of games, but his average earnings didn't come anywhere close to what James has been accruing.
The guy's a steamroller, and he's got this incredible focus and determination.
Not to mention his vast trivia knowledge and skills with a buzzer.
Impressive as all get out.
Just how far will James Holzhauer go? America will be watching to find out.
And Holzhauer won his 21st game yesterday, bringing his total winnings to just over $1.6 million. Here's Chris with a final check of the forecast.
You know, I wish the forecast paid me that much, Mark. That would be absolutely fantastic. But in the meantime, we do have some nice weather out there now. Clouds are on the increase. We'll see those temperatures around 60 today. More sunshine on Saturday. Temperatures will be closer to 70, perhaps sunshine and 70 on Sunday before rain chances arrive to start the next work week.
All right, enjoy the weekend. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.